Oh yeah.
Always me.
You gonna drive the bus, baby.
So back.
Welcome back, folks, to the So Back podcast, episode 11. We're past double digits. Now, this is where, a lot of people are going to give up, but not these guys. These guys are not giving up. They are battling for these 40 views they pick up, and we love all 40 of you equally. Um, and we are
Not equally. Some of
excited.
you are family.
That's true. Some of you guys are a little bit lower, but hey, you guys who I don't know that are listening, you guys are the real heroes out there. You guys are the heroes. But we had another exciting week of football, upsets left and right everywhere. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff this week. Georgia, for starters, we can talk about, was not upset, but not the best showing from the dogs.
Yeah, I mean the defense just did not look great. The offense was just a lot of screens, a lot of inside run, as we've been used to seeing from this team. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm an X's and O's football guy. Um, that's not me. But I will tell you, when they know you're gonna run a screen, it usually doesn't work. So when we run 50 a game and expect to like keep getting yards and stuff on them, like I know Zachariah Branch is fast, I understand, but like it just is not viable. So it's kind of been that type of season for these dogs. The offense hasn't been as explosive as we might like it to be, but keep winning games. And as long as you keep winning games, I guess you can't really complain too hard.
Yeah, the thing that Georgia's doing a lot this year that it's not good, but it hasn't really bit them hard yet is that they've been playing to their competition pretty heavily. They've been against teams that are good, they play really well, and against teams that are not so good, they play not so well. Luckily, in those games that they're probably not so well, they're playing well enough to win them, but it's just been a lot of playing to the competition, and that kind of burned them against Alabama a little bit. Um, but like if the offense that showed up against Ole Miss came into this Florida game, I would think this game wouldn't be very close. But instead, we just saw a lot more of the same, like you said, play calling wise, just a lot of screens, a lot of runs up the middle that, you know, I understand that the running backs are, one of the better parts of the offense right now, but you got to drop some misdirection, get some motion movement, something that can make a play, open up.
Right. I mean, we got Gunnar Stockton had 13 carries for 11 rushing yards. Now, I'm assuming that takes into account sacks, so
It
that's not
does, yeah.
great. But still, we gotta have he's very mobile. He's good with his feet. We gotta let him kind of get loose sometimes. I mean, Zachariah Branch had 112 yards, 10 receptions. I bet if you look back, half of those receptions were screen passes. So I mean, it's productive in a way, but it's sometimes very, very difficult to watch. And I think we've seen this Georgia defense have trouble with mobile quarterbacks. Um, where Hudson, no, Haynes King, sorry, not Hudson. Haynes King killed us last year. DJ Lagway played pretty well. Kept him in it. Didn't throw a pick, which is very un DJ Lagway like. Um, and we made him look like a half decent quarterback, and it's not really good.
No, but I also do think that we've seen a lot of low points from DJ Lagway this year. I don't think DJ Lagway is like bad. I just think that he's had some miscues offensively. But I mean, even still, like the fact that he played the game he did can be a bit concerning to a Georgia fan who expects their defense to be high caliber every year, as it has been for the past, 5 years now. But Georgia still won the offensive side of the ball with 361 offensive yards versus Florida's 281. So you still won the offensive side of the ball, but that's pretty much how the game was that 361 to 281 number. It's like Florida played like okay offensively and Georgia played okayer, like just a little bit better offensively because 361 yards isn't necessarily tremendous, but there were some short field situations for both teams that were taken advantage of by Georgia, and there was a miscue from Florida that kind of just cost them late, particularly going late. You have a field goal that makes it, a 6 point game instead of a 3 point game that would flip Florida up six instead of three. They go for it, they get stuffed. Then Georgia goes down and scores a touchdown, hit the extra point, and that was the final score, 24 to 20. Florida's offense remained, after that play, pretty much stunted, and that was pretty much it. I would like to say for this game, the false start call on Gunner was ridiculous.
Okay, so I was gonna say this because I had 3 points. I had three plays in this game that I wanted to talk about. That was one of them. So I couldn't hear the commentary of the game, so I had no idea what was happening. I saw just watching the replays, right? There's a flag. The Florida guy obviously jumped. And I'm like, offsides, free play, let's go. And then they call it back and it's a false start. I'm like, that's weird. I didn't think I saw anybody move. And I'm watching the replays and nobody moves.
There's not an inch of movement, not even an inch.
Nobody even flinches. And then they show Gunner clapping really hard. And that was kind of how I realized that maybe it was because Gunner clapped too loud. I still don't really know what the call, like, I don't understand what the false start is.
Yeah, they said it was an exaggerated clap, which is allowed.
That's the,
Uh,
isn't that the whole point of a hard count?
I thought so. That's,
Like, I clap as loud as I can to get you to, I can yell and scream all I want. What?
I don't understand it. It doesn't end up hurting the dogs as they still get the win, but that did take a likely, I mean, it was still kind of a longer kick, but that takes 3 points off the board because they were right on the edge of field goal range. They were like inside the field goal range, but barely. And then you take that penalty, now you're outside of field goal range.
Okay, so I had that one. And then early in the game, because we love special teams on this show, Brett Thorson's first punt. What the heck happened? Did you
I
see
thought
that?
I got tipped, but I think it was just
I
a
don't, it
bad
went
punt.
straight out of bounds.
Yeah, it was dead
It
left.
was that was horrendous. I was like, wow. I get excited when Brett gets out there. I'm pumped for the guy. And then he lays an egg like that. I was disappointed to see that, but he redeemed himself. He had a couple pretty good punts on Saturday.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, as much as we love Brett Thorson,
Nobel Australia.
we did not particularly want. I mean, you don't really want to see him out there too much, and
It's
we
true.
did, and we did see him out there more frequently than anyone would have liked in this Florida game. But yeah, that first punt was a little bit screwy for sure. I thought it got tipped, but it didn't.
And then my third and probably most important, was that a catch?
I mean, look, man, here's my argument that I will make to anybody. And this guy, I've said this a lot this year. It feels like it's happening more frequently. If that was called a catch, yeah, it was. If it's not, it's not. There's nothing that shows you that it is. There's an angle that shows the ball looking like it hits the ground, but if it's called a catch, I can't tell you definitively that the ground is helping him catch it.
Right. So my thing is, if I was a Florida fan, would I be pissed? Probably. I'd probably say that's a catch. But in that situation, they called it incomplete. There is no evidence that tells me that it is complete. And that's kind of what you have to prove in that video review is you have to prove to me that he did catch it, not that he didn't catch it. Not that you think he didn't catch it or whatever. I don't know how to say that. But
Yeah.
um you like there has to be evidence to the contrary, not supporting the initial call. You know what I mean? So it's a tough one to take, you know? And I think that in this time where we have so much video review and we have frame by frame, it's taken the part out of the game where you say, okay, sometimes like it's a 50-50 call and you're on the wrong end of it. Like, and that just is what it is. And that used to be kind of like how it was dealt with. You get really mad for whatever, and then you'd be like, well, the ref screwed us this week. And everybody, there wasn't like these screenshots and freeze frames of every little thing where it's like, okay, you can make anything look like it was a catch or like it wasn't a catch, you know? So it's tough to see.
Yeah, and like you say, even as a Georgia fan, you don't really want to win the game that way, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. And there's nothing I can really do about it. Did it look like a catch? Maybe. Did it look like it wasn't a catch? Also maybe. Like it really could have
Right.
been either way. Like at in live time, I'm very surprised they didn't call it a catch because it did look like a catch in live time. I'm very surprised they called it
I thought it
incomplete
was a catch in
initially.
real time.
I'm very surprised it was not called complete initially. And then I thought it would have stood. But because they called it incomplete and I was watching the replays, I was like, they can't change it. Like there's a specific angle that was right down the line that his arms are kind of like this and the ball kind of falls in between it and it might have hit the ground. Like it just might have.
Right. I think I don't by that angle, what looks like happens is the fat part of he got the corners of the ball with his forearms, but the I think the fat part of the ball did hit the turf. So it's okay, does he have control there? Probably not. And then he controls it with his body. It's I think even if you know if it hit the ground or not, that's still a tough call.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a tough call and it's one that I'm sure those refs are hearing about all the time from Florida fans who just want to beat their big brother so bad and they just can't seem to get it done.
Another year, another Florida loss. It's good. But we did say last week, this is a big time trap game.
It was. And it
Florida's not that good, but they are a rival. They're not playing that well. They're 3-5. Like you know, it's a big time trap game. So I'm happy we survived this one. We move on to Mississippi State.
yeah, it's a win for Georgia nonetheless. And speaking of Georgia rivals, the Yellow Jackets fall this week, which you can say that this was bound to happen eventually, or that this is a heartbreak from Georgia Tech. Either way, Georgia Tech is now a one-loss team and has fallen in the rankings.
Oh goodness. It's beautiful to see Tech doing Tech things. I said this was gonna happen. That Tech was gonna beat somebody they're not supposed to, which was Clemson, who actually sucks. So whatever. Um, and then they're gonna lose to somebody they're not supposed to. And lo and behold, here we are, NC State, 48 points. 48 points from NC State. What are we doing, fellas? Haynes King had 4 total touchdowns. He had like 500 yards. You can't get that guy a win? Come on. We I wore black today. It's I wanted to hold a moment of silence, but I decided against it. Um, but Georgia Tech, they can't they oh we're going into Georgia undefeated. Your Tech. Your Tech.
Unfortunately, the reality is now that best case scenario, Georgia Tech comes into Georgia as a one-loss team, and you're absolutely right in that Haynes King did everything he could to win this game for Georgia Tech. Tried to will it to somehow happen. I mean, he outplayed NC State's QB, CJ Bailey, who
We still had
just
340 yards.
yeah, who's still at three. He outplayed him, but you cannot allow 48 points to any team and expect to win, no matter who you're playing. If Georgia was playing Marshall and won, 56 to 48, I'd be like, what are we doing? How did we give up 48 points to like you just can't expect to do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just NC State. They're 4-4. They're having a tough year. They scored 7 against Notre Dame. They scored. Never mind. That's the wrong side. But they're scoring some points. But still, this is. I mean, this is a team. If you're the number 8 team in the country, this is a team that you really got to put a hurting on. Um, and your defense has to find a way to stop their quarterback who nobody's ever heard of.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I think it's a bad it's a stumble from Tech. Do I think they'll still probably make the playoff? Yes, because I think they'll be the second team. I think they'll still be in the ACC championship, be the second team in the ACC. But I think it does show that again, we've said it all year. There are still levels to this. And as soon as the team kind of starts to look like they might be on that level, they show us exactly why they're not, and that's why college football is chaos, and I love it.
It this game was absolute chaos, and it cost me $115 because I had a parlay, and
Ooh.
they were the last leg of it. So,
Oh, did every other one hit?
yeah, every other part of the bet hit.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, I had the money line. I didn't even need them to cover. I just needed them to win. Uh,
You didn't even take the points.
just needed them to win. But we get a loss there. Run defense atrocious from Georgia Tech. Pass defense really not any better. So yeah, if you're a Tech fan now, reality is you're a one loss best case going into the University of Georgia.
Now, I will say, because I said Florida was a trap game, I don't think it's going to be a trap game because I think everybody knows that Tech is decent this year. But Haynes King, mobile quarterback, a good rushing attack. I think they are going to give Georgia some trouble. It's not going to be the 40 point victories that we've seen in the past. I think this will be like a close, hard fought game, but it is in the Benz, which I think is a detriment to Tech, to be honest. I think that will be filled with Georgia fans as opposed to a regular home game that they would have that there would be a lot of Tech fans. But I definitely have that one circled. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if they're going to be playing harder necessarily, but if Tech was undefeated going into that game, I feel like they could afford the loss more than now. Now you've got to play hard. Like now you got to play really hard. And I just think that that could change things as well there.
That's very true. I mean, if they can pull off an upset, that really puts them ahead of a lot of teams in terms of getting an at-large bid. Um, so yeah, I mean, we got some time to think about that one.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. And then we had a team get kind of revitalized into this college football playoff with all the big losses we had up ahead of them. But the Oklahoma Sooners get the win ahead of Tennessee, and now are ranked 11 in the AP poll. The college football playoff committee comes together tomorrow to talk about that. But um, for now, they're 11. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is you didn't see like an epic game from John Materi. He played all right, 159 yards and a pick. Um, but this was a this was a defensive battle from Oklahoma. They were able to play a little bit more on the field position. They still let up 27 points, so it's not like they set the world on fire, but they were able to put their team in good positions on the field to to get them some touchdowns. And you know, I'm only seeing two total touchdowns, so that's 14 points. So that the rest was field goals. So I mean, they were just able to get to the red zone, make their field goals, and um, two picks from Joey Aguilar really sealed it for the Volunteers.
Yeah, it was a fun game, a high scoring one that could have gone completely either way, and were both just absolutely needed from both squads. I know we talked about that last week where these two teams are just so on, they were just really on the bubble, and one of them really needed it. The winner was going to get helped a lot. The loser was going to need now a lot to happen to find yourself in the college football playoff. And that has now unfortunately become the Tennessee Volunteers. Joey Aguilar's been pretty good about not turning the ball over too much all year and just really struggled out there against the Sooners to keep the ball in the Volunteers' hands. And, then Tennessee was playing from behind, trying to catch up and couldn't do anything about it.
He also lost a fumble, so that's three total turnovers for Joey Aguilar. So, just a tough day. Uh, as Tennessee fans are well used to, just a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment, unfortunately, for Tennessee team that I didn't necessarily hate. I didn't have a lot of animosity towards them. I thought they were a good team. Um, just kind of an unfortunate way the year played out for them.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying die for Tennessee, but now you need help. And that game, you held your own destiny in that game and you dropped it, unfortunately. So that will be a loss for Tennessee there. The sneaky ranked matchup that we had last week ends up being a pummeling. Utah puts the hurting on Cincinnati, which we did say it's a different beast going into Utah on a night game, and we got that on
Utah at night, man.
full display Saturday night. Yeah, it was the Utah running game was completely unstoppable. They rushed for a total of 270 yards. They completely unstoppable.
I mean, that's I think the Big 12 is sort of I think they've always kind of been like this. Or no, Big 12 used to be like shootouts. But I think now it's kind of turning more into a Pac-12, Pac-10, none of those conferences. Big 10
Yeah, there you go.
kind of like where we're heavily leaning on the rush attack, where we're going hard on the ground. And I like that from the Big 12. You need a conference like that.
Yeah, because even now the Big Ten, they still are pretty heavy run game wise, but even that's kind of shifting into that more air attack. So you need that conference that is the ground and pound old school football. So if that's Big 12's role, then that's their role. Utah keeps their playoff hopes kind of alive with a win there. SMU Miami loss for the Canes again. It's happened. It has happened. The slip up of Carson Beck has happened. It has come back to bite him. I'm not necessarily blaming him, but it is his team. So, you know.
Yeah, Carson Beck's gonna Carson Beck. We've seen this from him where in flashes he looks like the best quarterback you've ever seen in your life. And then in flashes, he looks like maybe the worst decision maker of all time. So, I don't have much sympathy for Miami or Carson Beck. Um, Mainly because did you see his post game presser?
I did not.
He said, um, basically he was asked kind of like what about SMU's defense was kind of throwing him off or whatever. And he said they ran the same defense all night. I just run the plays they call. So basically, just throwing his whole coaching staff under the bus, saying none of this is my fault, and he is just tanking his draft stock.
Yeah, you
Like
just can't say
you
that.
gotta just keep your mouth shut. You just gotta keep your
Or
mouth shut.
honestly, take it on yourself. A lot of teams like when you do that. When you like, a lot of
Right.
people like when you
I
do
gotta be
that.
better.
Yeah, like I got to be better. I got to make better decisions. That's all you say. It's the easiest answer, and teams love when you say it. It's just silly.
You're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the guy that takes. Unfortunately, that comes with position. You get all the glory when you win, but you also take all the blame when you lose.
Mhm.
So if you're not able to handle that and you're just gonna throw your coach under the bus, I just don't think you're gonna be very successful and you're not gonna nobody in the locker room is gonna trust you. He's already thrown his wide receivers under the bus. and then now he's throwing his coaches under the bus. So it's like, who's gonna want to play for that?
Right.
It's just not. He doesn't. He's not showing those leadership tendencies that a quarterback needs.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to bring up this funny little stat that I found today that was pretty funny. So the UGA's seating capacity is 93,000. There were 35,000 people at this game. That's just pretty crazy to me. It's
35,000 were at this game.
yeah, it's like barely a third of what UGA can hold. Pretty insane
Well,
stuff.
this is Miami's first game out of Florida this year.
Yeah.
This is the first time they traveled out of the state of Florida, and they're 6-2.
Yeah. So, but SMU, good for you guys. You guys took them down. You took down the Canes. Good for you guys.
Yeah, you're 6-3. You're 4-1 in the ACC.
Right? Throw them in.
Rank
Throw them
them.
in.
Miami's 6-2, 2-2 in the ACC. What are we talking about?
And they're still ranked. You still like them. It's unreal.
Yeah,
Um,
ACC bias. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's unreal. It's unreal what they do these days. I can't. Yeah, we got the Texas Longhorns beating Vanderbilt. I really hated to see it, and I wanted Vandy bad. I wanted them bad. But Austin actually did call this one pretty much on the nose. There's no reason Vanderbilt should have lost. They're the better team. But just because they're Texas, they beat them. And Arch all of a sudden became who he was has supposed to have been all year.
We finally unlocked Arch. 328 yards, three TDs. He had a great day. Not to say that Diego Pavia didn't have a great day. Four total touchdowns for him, 365 in the air, 43 on the ground. He had a monster day, but his defense just could not get a stop for him. And this Texas team really dominates the defense, but wins a close one.
Yeah, and it was also to the point where Vanderbilt was just down in that fourth quarter and they just were climbing back and Pavia was giving it all he had and they're scoring, but eventually you run out of you leave yourself with too little time with too much needed and that was what kind of happened. They just couldn't overcome the deficit they put themselves in early.
Yeah, I mean Texas came out. I turned the game on, went to go change, get ready for the day, whatever, and come back and it's 17-0. Like just like that. And I was like, whoa, okay, all right. I guess this is gonna be just an absolute shit kicking. And it ended up being Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt came back, tried to make it a game, but like you said, it was just too little, too late.
Yeah, and if you're Vanderbilt, I'll say to you, keep your head up a little bit. You're still ranked 15. With the way college football has been going this year, you're not out of it. All right, you're not out. Keep your head
Yeah,
up.
I mean, you lost to a 7-2 Texas team. Like they're not. You didn't lose to some bums. Like
Yeah.
they got 5-star recruits all over the place. So, you know, it's a game you'd probably like to win, but that as a program that's growing and learning how to win, um, you're gonna kind of take your lumps like this.
Yeah. It was a good game played by both sides, and Texas came out on top. But it is big for Texas because they moved up big in the AP poll, and it puts them back into contention a little bit for a playoff run. I don't really fear Texas. I think that they played really well today. They pretty much played as well as they played or today on Saturday. They pretty much played as well as they have all year and won, but I don't really fear them necessarily, but you know, helps them. It helps them. And then
Yeah, I mean they
oh no,
where
you
where
go.
did they go to?
What do you mean?
Where did
Like
they
where
move
was
up
it?
to?
13.
Like 13. Okay. All right.
Yeah, they're, you know, right in the mix, right on the outside right now, looking at. You had they like we thought they were out, we thought they were gone. We thought we weren't going to see them again, and then Texas Tech gets a win against a nobody Kansas State team, and now they're top 10 again. They have somehow found their way back into the top 10. Um, can't really believe it,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
I'm just confused. I don't. like I get it. We're trying to include the Big 12. Little brother needs some out of boys too. I get it. But I mean, Texas State's 4-4. I mean, sorry, Kansas State is 4-4. They're in the Big 12. They're 3-3 in conference. Like you're supposed to kick the shit out of them.
And they
And we shouldn't.
also committed 5 turnovers, which led to 27 points. Like it's not good.
Yeah. Like what are we talking about? Stop. Let's stop doing this to Texas State. You're getting their hopes up, and then we're just gonna rip them away when they lose in the Big 12 championship. I'm sorry, but like we just
It's
can't do
like,
this.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because Texas Tech now that we take a week at the look ahead, Texas Tech is playing BYU in Texas Tech this week. And the spread is currently 10.5 in favor of Texas Tech currently. Um, I mean, I like BYU to cover that. I might even take BYU to win.
Yeah, I don't hate BYU outright. I don't know what. Like I really just don't understand. Like what are Texas Tech at 9, BYU at 8, but we're gonna put Texas Tech at minus 10.5. I don't really get it. I don't understand what everybody's seeing from this Texas Tech team. They're good, but I don't think a win over Kansas State is 4 spots good.
No, I don't either. And I also like, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I watch every Big 12 game and know everything about these teams. I don't. I don't know everything about these teams. But from what I do know, Texas Tech is not top 10 and they're also they don't seem any better than BYU. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I don't know, not 10.5.
I mean, I could see probably 3.5 because you're at home,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'd take BYU with the points, maybe even money line.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat there in that game. Um we got the Dogs going to Mississippi State, which, is not the toughest place to play in, but it's not necessarily easy. They actually have a pretty good environment there.
Cowbells are tough. Cowbells are
Cowboys are tough.
tough.
Those Cowboys are tough. Georgia favored by 7.5. I like them. I like them to cover that, but you never know.
I do
Mississippi State.
too. Mississippi State's frisky, but and they're at home, so it gives them a little bit of an extra. I think if this was UGA at home, it'd probably be closer to 12.5,
Mm.
13.5. Um, but I still like UGA in the points. I think it's kind of a bounce back week. We played pretty shitty, and now we got to go show Mississippi State. We got to take our frustrations out on Mississippi State, and I think we'll probably do that.
Yeah, and you hate to do that to Mississippi State. I actually don't really mind Mississippi State. I kind of like them a little bit, but probably
Yeah, they're
not.
fun.
Yeah, they're sneaky fun. They finally got the lucrative win in the SEC last week. Also wanted to bring that up. That's pretty cool. They haven't had a win in the
Yeah, they
SEC.
finally got a win.
They got a conference win. Good for them. They have been so close so many times this year, and they finally got one. Good for them. But I guess this is the Big Ten matchup of the week. We got Indiana at Penn State. Um, Indiana favored by 14.5. Honestly, I like Indiana. Their offense looks unbelievable right now.
I like Indiana money line. I'm not convinced on 14.5 on Penn State. I understand that Penn State is not that good. I get it. Doesn't mean that people don't pay for season tickets and students get 6 home games a year to go to. So they got 6 Saturdays. And Indiana's good. It's a ranked matchup. The students and the fans are going to be there. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it an atmosphere as much as they can. Um, so I don't necessarily love 14.5. I'd probably take Penn State with the points, but I do think Indiana is better and will win. I just think 14.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, my real argument for the Indiana to cover that really is just because of what Penn State did last week versus Ohio State, which was guts. Now, this was in the shoe. I get that, but I mean, they got pretty spanked. And I really don't think that Ohio State is that much better than Indiana. That's my reasoning as to why I think that Mendoza can lead his boys to a little bit more than 2 touchdowns, maybe a 17-point win there, something like that. We'll see though. You never know. Definitely got Indiana to win that one. If you don't, you're pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Um we got Texas A&M at Mizzou. Texas A&M favored by 7.5 points. Pretty good line, really.
I yeah, I mean, Mizzou's been frisky. Mizzou's been playing well. They're not the contender that we thought they could maybe turn out to be. Still a good football team. I like Texas A&M with the points, but just because I think Texas A&M is really, really good. I hope they stumble so that we can get in the SEC championship, but I don't see it happening.
No, I don't either. Um we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but A&M has kind of a tough finish to their schedule where they've got Mizzou here, they got Texas in a couple of weeks. So things are, they've got kind of a tough stretch down the line. And I think they're good enough to win them. The way they've been playing is I think they're good enough to have them. Um, I like A&M. Even though it's in Mizzou, I still think A&M should cover 7.5. But it's a good line. I think it's going to be close to that. I think it might be like a 10-point win, but it could be seven. It could be seven. It's going to be somewhere right along there, right along those lines. I think
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
that's a pretty good line for that game, in my opinion. And then we got LSU at Alabama, and Bama is favored by 7.5. Um, I like Bama to hammer this spread, to be honest with you. I might take like an alternate line, take Bama 12.5.
I was thinking we were right on the same wavelength. LSU, no head coach. I mean, you take this last week, you get your head coach bump per se. Um, but no, this Bama team is really good, and they should hammer LSU at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, tough environment. If you're in LSU and then the line was 7.5, I'd be like, all right. I mean, it is tough. It's tough to play there, but I
Right.
mean, you're in Tuscaloosa. I expect that to be pretty, pretty handedly solid victory for Bama there. But we'll see how our predictions look. Next week when we're talking about it again. Now we got, as per usual, before we get into the AE poll, we have the professionals to speak about. Um,
We got some sad news to do today. We got a bad one. I'm gonna make you start it off because I want to get it out of the way.
all right.
This is Ed's Falcons minute.
Yeah, I'm really gonna try to keep this one to a minute, guys, because my delusion for the Falcons is slowly my delusion cup is it has a crack and it's slowly leaking juice. And I'm slowly starting to realize that I mean the Falcons were in this game. We easily could have won it. But there's a hex over the city of Atlanta that in with football. And that game, I mean, Drake London did everything he could. Michael Penix played great. The Patriots have not allowed a running back to rush more than 50 yards a game. So I understood why Bijan didn't have an unbelievably insane breakout game. It didn't really break my heart. But, we did everything we could to win. And then we miss the extra point against the Patriots and end up losing. Yeah, it sucks. It hurt. I was really upset for about an hour on Sunday. And then I realized, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a heartbreaker. It's ones that you look at the end of the year and you go, hey, these one score games, these 1 point games, if these were flipped, what's our record this year? And you know, those are games you'd like to win, but just couldn't get it done, unfortunately.
I did have the Falcons at +5, so I actually did make money, but kind of a silver lining there. But honestly, this isn't even my most sad news of the week. I was really upset to see Jaden Daniels go down with his massive injury this week. Right after he comes back, he gets a really bad left arm injury that I watched the video once and I couldn't watch it again. It made me feel sick. It was a really bad injury.
I was in bed for this one, but I I heard about the injury and I didn't even dare watch it because I'm not that guy. So it begs the question, what's he doing in the game? You guys are getting killed. He's been having some injury problems. This is unrelated, but with the injury problems that he has been having, you probably should have taken him out anyways. He's the future of your entire franchise, and the only thing that can happen is he gets hurt, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, for
Fire
sure.
every coach, GM, owner, fire them all. Actually, don't fire the owner. The owner's actually probably. I think he's been doing well. New owner.
I don't know if I'm on the fire Dan Quinn train though. Like, I mean, I don't know. It could have happened at any point in the game. Why was he out there? I'm not sure. He shouldn't have been out there, but injuries can happen at any point. It just so happened that it happened when he probably should have been benched. But yeah, I really feel for Jaden Daniels because he even said himself like he feels like he's back to 100%. He's back from his injury. He's ready to go. Let's do this. We got the Seahawks. Let's take them down. First of all, Seahawks put belt to ass on the Commanders whole game, just a pounding. And Jaden Dale's just doing everything he can. He scrambles every other play. Like he's doing everything he can. And eventually, he just tried to keep himself up with his left arm, and it just bent the wrong way. And
Elbow's not supposed to go that way.
no, it's not. And it wasn't his throwing arm, silver lining, wasn't his throwing arm, but still a really bad injury. Um, Prayers for Jaden Daniels. I really like him a lot. I hope he can recover.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. It's a good thing that it is his left arm, so he'll be out for the year. He'll rehab it. Uh, just unfortunate for the Commanders this season.
For sure. Um, Honestly, no offense to Marcus Mariota, but he's not going to be leading the Commanders to the playoffs, I don't think. I think that that injury is likely the end of the Commanders' playoff run. If there even was one before, that's definitely the end of it. So,
Right. This was kind of the end of probably their playoff hopes today with the law or sorry on Sunday with a loss to take them to 3-6. In a tough I guess they don't in a division that the Eagles are in,
yes, right.
basically. Um so it would have been a tough sledding anyways. So yeah, I think that's unfortunate for the Commanders. We look to next year, but hopefully get some development from Krosky Merritt. Um, probably your last year at Debo. Um, yeah, just kind of unfortunate for him.
Yeah, you feel for the guy, and I just hope he can recover and be as good as he has been and he was last year. But off of sad news, we've got some good stuff. Chiefs lost this week. Josh Allen got it
But
done.
it's see, I just don't. It doesn't matter though because Josh Allen always beats Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. It's 5-1, but then we get to the playoffs and Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things, and then they go win the Super Bowl. So like, what? It's not even fun anymore. It's not even
Yeah,
fun.
it can be a bit frustrating. I won't lie, for sure it can be. But he Patrick Mahomes, he didn't play extremely well. He actually didn't. He looked very uncomfortable throwing. The Bills looked stronger in almost every aspect of the game, essentially. But you are right in that Kansas City owns Buffalo in the postseason, and it's just whether or not because we know we're seeing them again. We know they're gonna play again. We know it's gonna happen again. And it's just gonna be can Buffalo beat them twice? And I just don't know if they can.
So far, they've showed that they are unable to. I hope that this is their year and they finally get over that hump. But I until I see otherwise, it's who really cares if Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes in the regular season because we still gonna play in the playoffs.
Exactly. Exactly. But, they get the win. So good for them. And then we have well, one of the few, I guess, a couple, but big upset, which is the Packers losing to the Panthers. I was at my girlfriend's house. She's a Panthers fan. I watched the whole game. Packers offense just looked terrible. Jordan Love couldn't get anything going. I mean, I could say the Packers offense looked terrible, but I got to give them some flowers. The Panther defense actually looked really good. It did look really good.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to know why Chuba Hubbard is still employed. Like, why do they even give him the ball anymore? Just give the ball to Rico Dowdle. Just keep whether he's playing well, whether he's playing bad, give him the ball. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's stop trotting Chuba Hubbard out there. He's not very good. He's on my fantasy team, so I actually do kind of need them to keep trotting him out there. But he's not very good, and we need to stop pretending like he is.
He's unfortunately on both of my fantasy teams. I was big on Chuba going into this year. So really unfortunate that Rico Dowdle is like a freak of nature. It really kind of sucks. But yeah, you're right. I mean, right now, Chuba just doesn't look like he has the fire lit under him that he needs to win that starting job back. Rico Dowdle's on an absolute insanity run right now. Like every game, he's rushing for over 100 yards easily, sometimes over 200. It's pretty ridiculous stuff that he's doing right now.
Really wish I would have drafted him.
Yeah, or at least picked him up once Chuba went down. That would have been nice. But yeah, anyways, the Panthers get the win there. Good for them. They are now, I think, a game
Five
back.
and
No,
four.
yeah, they're I think are a half game back on the Bucks because Bucks had the bye. So I think are they a half game back? No, they might be a game. I don't know. They're barely behind the Bucks. They're in the mix with the Bucks. And then you have the Vikings beating the Lions on JJ McCarthy's return game. Really shocked me. Did not see this one coming at all. Thought the Lions were gonna kind of kick the crap out of the Lion or the Vikings, but the Lions uh offense was pretty good, put up 24. But JJ McCarthy and the Vikings rushing offense looked great.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was again a scenario in which the Vikings defense was able to put them in good positions to score and get points. So you get 3 total touchdowns from JJ McCarthy. That's a big day, but he only had 143 yards.
Right.
He only had 142 yards of rushing. Like it wasn't like they were shoving it down their throat all day. They were getting the ball in good spots. They were able to convert on short yardage situations, and this Lions defense just wasn't able to stop them.
Yeah. I mean, you can't give them the ball at short field and expect to win games. And the Vikings took full advantage. I mean, the Lions offense, like you say, it looked pretty good. They did their job most of the game. It's just they couldn't convert on third much, which kind of killed them. They were 5 for 17 on third down, which is just simply not good enough. Um, Having 17 third downs is also ridiculous. But still, knowing Dan Campbell, they're going to go for it. So, you know, but yeah, Vikings get the win. Hurts the Lions a little bit. Big help for the Vikings. Keeps them in playoff contention on the outside, but looking in. And then you have the return of Lamar, which the Ravens looked kind of like themselves again. They kind of looked like they knew how to, play football again.
Yeah, I mean that's good to see from the Ravens. The Miami Dolphins are pitiful. They're just a real bummer to watch.
Yep.
Um,
Unless they're playing the Falcons,
but
then they're really good.
they're really, really fun. But Lamar with 4 touchdowns, Derrick Henry 119 rushing yards. This is the Ravens team that we had grown used to seeing. Um, and they were able to show it against again a very pitiful Dolphins team, but it's good to see that it's still there.
Yeah, definitely good to see that. I mean, kind of crazy to me that it's like the Ravens defense. I mean, again, like you said, Miami's terrible, but it's like the Ravens defense got better and because Lamar came back. It's like the hell? He doesn't play defense. It's like they just
Yeah, they just started trying a little bit harder because they knew that Tyler Huntley wasn't going to get the job done. That's who their backup is, right?
yeah, yep, Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
Um Georgia beat Bellarmine 104 to 59. Just for anyone wondering, that game's over. Wow,
Yes.
that is a pummeling. But all right.
Hey, that's why we
So
pay you guys to come play.
yep, that's it. I know it's Bellarmine, but still, actually a pretty good sign for the dogs there. Um, so who do we think is the MVP now? You know?
So Baker's on a bye, so it's tough. But they've sort of been stumbling in the last couple of weeks. We'll see if they can pick it back up after the bye. But I think right now with Josh Allen just beating the Chiefs, even though he always does, I think it's probably Josh Allen. Um, but Baker is still there. He's still lurking.
Dude, give me give me a sneaky Drake May.
Drake May's, I mean, Drake May is up there. He's in the
He's
conversation. They're 7-2. They're I don't know what's happening. I thought they were really bad, but
I
for
did
some
too.
reason they're good. Mike Vrabel's got the boys playing. Drake May looks like he might be the next Tom Brady. The Patriots are buzzing. I might go back to my New England roots and start cheering for the Patriots and really get real excited about it.
Well, dude, I
This
mean
this guy this guy Drake May is fun.
he's ridiculous. He's fourth in the league in pass yards and 17 or third in the league in touchdowns. Like he's playing great. He's playing great football. I just as of now, it's either yeah, it still could be Baker, but I think Mahomes, Allen, and May right now are just playing really well. Those guys are in the mix. All AFC
Yeah,
boys.
you gotta keep Mahomes in there, I guess. It's the Chiefs, man. I hate them.
Yeah, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but they remain, or he remains. Obviously, every year will until he retires will likely be in the MVP conversation. But you ready to go into the AE poll of the week here?
Eat whole time, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got the usual suspects among the top. I still honestly, can we just like keep 1 through 7?
All the way to Ole Miss, yeah. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss.
I think that's pretty much perfect. Unless you wanted Ole Miss above Oregon, that would be the only thing I would change.
I don't need it.
I could see that, but I don't need it. I guess if someone were really to fight me too, I could throw A&M above Indiana, but Indiana doesn't deserve to be punished. They're playing really well, so
Right. Yeah. I think A&M is better than Indiana, but Indiana's been up there, so can't punish them for a win. But at this number 8 spot, I just call me a hater. Actually, I don't like any of these bottom 4 or bottom 3. BYU, Texas Tech, Notre Dame. I don't want any of them.
yeah. If you fought me, actually, you know what? No, even if
Maybe
you,
BYU at 10.
I was gonna say BYU, but Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be there. They don't
No, they're
deserve
6 and
it.
2. What are we talking about? They don't play anybody.
Right,
What are
they're
we
six
talking
and
about?
two. They have the same amount of losses as Oklahoma, Texas, Vanderbilt, and Utah. And I think all those teams are better. I think all those teams are better than Notre Dame.
Yeah, the Notre Dame love. I mean, I get it. They're Notre Dame. It's gonna happen every year. I understand, but I'm still gonna be pissed about it every year.
Yeah, it's
So,
silly.
what do you think about Oklahoma at 8?
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do Oklahoma at 8, which moves them up, which would move them up 10 spots in our poll, which is pretty crazy. But hey, I'm all right with that.
And then what do you see? I don't necessarily love Georgia Tech going down 8 spots.
Yeah.
What were they at? 9?
Georgia Tech was at, let's see, if they moved 8 spots, right? They would be at 8. Yeah.
8. Okay. I never mind. I was gonna try to be nice to them, but then I didn't. I decided I didn't want to.
I
Um,
mean, they're a one-loss team, so I just w I could keep Georgia Tech in the top 10 if the loss was ranked, but it wasn't. So I don't think they should be there yet.
so sneaky Virginia at
Yeah,
9.
I could do Virginia at
And
9. I like Virginia more than I like Texas Tech for sure.
I do as well.
Yeah, so we
So you
could
think
throw in a
Oklahoma, Virginia, and then
gotta
BYU.
throw in the gotta throw in the undefeated BYU. You can't be undefeated at this point in the season and not be top 10. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All
I like
right.
it. I like
Well,
our list. Let's run
yeah.
through it again. Let's recap. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, A&M. Number 4, Alabama. Number 5, the Dogs. Number 6, Oregon. Number 7, Ole Miss. Number 8, Oklahoma. Number 9, Virginia. And number 10, BYU.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And then, right on the outskirts, you got, dude, Notre Dame would fall so much more in mine. Notre Dame would be like 15 for me. But, what do I
Yeah,
know?
they'd be down there. Right.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
act like we don't watch the games and we don't like see who they're playing. It's
Right,
crazy.
exactly. They're like, yeah, but look, they're 6-2. It's like, yeah, but they're playing anyone good.
Yeah, they play fucking Navy.
Right. They
Play Navy
won.
every year.
Well, it'd be like, dude, I got into a fight this weekend and won. And you're like, dude, sick. And then it'd be like, you look on Google and I beat up like a toddler. You're like, dude, what the heck
Right.
is wrong with you?
Why why would you do that?
Right. Exactly. Um, but yeah, that's a good poll. I like ours better than AP. We'll see what the college football playoff has for us. They tend to do better than AP does. Sometimes I feel like AP doesn't even know what they're talking about. So typically the CFP
Yeah,
tends to be better.
I would agree.
So we got that tomorrow night at 8. We'll see how that goes. And then
I'm excited.
finally we can, yeah, me too, man. We can wrap up the show here with a little shid mid and legit. Uh
Okay, before we start, I was informed by a listener this week um that every team in Shid Mid Legit last week, everybody lost.
really?
Everybody lost.
Well, let's think. Who did we do
I
last
think
week?
I think I said Oklahoma was legit. They lost. Or no, they won. I think I said Texas was legit.
Yeah.
No, Tennessee. Tennessee. That's who Oklahoma
Yeah.
played. Sorry. Tennessee, they lost. I believe Auburn was in there. I said they were shit, so they lost. And then shoot, who was it? Should have wrote this
Was
down.
it Tech? Did I throw Tech in there?
It was Tech, and
Yeah.
Tech lost. Yes. So, very funny that just all the teams that you picked, they were just like, nah, we all might be shit.
We're all shit. That's funny. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious. That's pretty good stuff. But I
Thank you,
got an
Cameron from
interesting.
Bangor, Maine.
Oh, that's Cam? The Cam man.
Yeah, it's my brother.
Attaboy. Thanks, Cam. Thanks for does he like the shit mid legit segment? I hope so.
He loves shit mid legit.
I got an interesting fun one this week. I got 3 teams who are maybe good, maybe not. You never really know. That's the whole thing.
Never
I
know.
got Here's who I got. I got Utah. I got Virginia, and I
Utah.
got BYU.
Ooh, okay. Utah, Virginia, BYU. Okay. Where's Utah playing?
What do you mean, where are they playing?
Where are they playing? Like in this scenario, where are they playing?
I
Are they
mean,
playing at night at home?
it could be. It's the average. It's the average Utah. Could be any Utah. You know what?
Okay.
Um,
All right. All right. All right. All right.
I'll give you two different rankings. I'll give you one ranking with them at like a noon game, and then I'll give you one with them at night.
Okay. All right. I can do that. So Utah at night, legit.
Okay.
Then BYU would be mid, and I think Virginia would fall into shit just because the ACC is very, very weak. I think the Big 12 is probably a little bit better than the ACC right now. We've seen a lot of these ACC teams drop. I don't think they're better than Georgia Tech. I don't think they're better than than Miami. So I think they're going to be shit. And then Utah at noon, they're probably mid, and then BYU would be legit. They're 8-0. But Utah at night, I mean, the best team in the country.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
that's
their
that was a little
offense.
blasphemy. I'm sorry, I said that.
Well, their offense at night actually is kind of ridiculous. Their offense has played two night games the last 2 weeks in a row and are averaging like 50 points a game. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But I'm with you. I'm totally with you on both rankings. I agree on all fronts. Not that I don't like Virginia. I just don't think that they're extremely good. Of the three teams, they kind of fall into SHID just because I picked three like pretty good teams. So like anyone could have been
Right.
SHID. It just kind of had to be them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our show here. You got anything else you want to say? Or are you all good?
We got college basketball starting. It's been a good night for college basketball. UGA gets the win. Uh, what else I got? Tottenham. Nobody cares, but we're just on the train down. It's really coming down, just like it does every year. So that's fun. Uh,
That is
Cooper
fun.
Flag, the main event. He's playing all right. He's not like lighting the world on fire, I would say, but he's playing good. He's not the number one option on that team. Anthony Davis is. So um, I think, and he's playing point guard, which he's not a point. He's never played point guard in his entire life. So yeah, go Cooper Flag, main event. It's my boy.
You have always kind of loved had a little soft spot for Cooper Flag. But yeah, I'm excited for
I
college
cheered for
basketball
Duke
this year.
last year because of Cooper Flag.
You did. You did. Um, I'm very excited. Austin is actually the man who got me into college basketball, so I can thank him for that. I am unfortunately a Georgia Bulldogs fan, which kind of sucks, but you know,
Hey, remember when we stormed the court against Florida?
I do. I do. We are
That was
well
pretty
until
fun.
actually until the night we were the last loss Florida had, but now they just won or they just lost to Arizona. But before tonight, we were their last loss. So that was pretty sweet. Me and Austin were there for it, and we got free jerseys, which was even cooler.
Wait,
But thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys every week for tuning in, and we look forward to, talking to you guys next week.
peace.